Yeah, they obviously played a lot better than we did today in all facets of the game. So got to tip our cap to them. Still won the series, and obviously we wanted to sweep, but I told the team the focus has to be you won the series. You went 2 out of 3 on the SEC on a weekend, so has to be our focus, and now back to work tomorrow.
Mark, it seemed early on just some of the at-bats, especially men on base, were just kind of, inconsistent to say the least. What was the approach today? Did you see guys doing what you wanted them to do outside of obviously getting one to fall?
Yeah, the approach is the same as it's been for the last 10 games where we've hit 350 over the last 10 games. It's the same approach. Their lefty had pretty good feel. We hit some balls hard that were at guys, and we weren't exactly lucky today, but their lefty had good pitch ability. He didn't walk anybody. He worked the fastball in and out, kept us off balance with the slider. We knew the key to that game would be the first 4 or 5 innings before they got Guilfoyle in the game, because statistically he's the best pitcher in the league this year. So we knew the first half of that game would be really important, and it just didn't go the way we wanted it to.
John?
Yeah, what'd you make of Will today? A couple of long balls, and that seems to have been a little bit of an issue for him over the course of the year. Is that something y'all try to figure out later?
Yeah, I mean, I looking at the box score, I just ran into Will in the hallway. I told him, dude, you gave up 2 earned runs in 7 innings. We win 99% of the time when you do that. So I don't want him being too hard on himself. We all have such high expectations for Will that, it feels like if he doesn't throw a no-hitter, we're wondering what's wrong with him. And I just think that's a testament to how good we all feel like he can be. But if you'd have told me before the day he's going to throw 7 innings and give up 2 earned runs, regardless of whether it was home runs or not, I think we would have all taken that. So he gave us a chance to win.
Mark, it seemed like the game really swung there in the 5th inning when you leave the bases loaded. Just how deflating a moment was that for you guys, and what did you make of Wimmer and Braswell's at-bats there?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say deflating because you still had a lot of game left, but, I mean, that guy, again, his statistics are real. I mean, you have an opponent's batting average for right-handed pitchers at about .060. I mean, that means he's really, really tough to hit, and they brought him in at the time when they knew they had to get out of a jam, and he did that for him. So he's been doing it all year, and he did it today.
Brant was telling us yesterday he thought Evan Stone had the chance to be one of the better center fielders in the country. Obviously, a couple big plays today with the throwing out the runner at home and the leap and catch. What do you make of just his development this year and how he's improved throughout the year?
Yeah, he's been one of our really nice success stories. He came in a little bit under the radar as a multi-sport athlete, and he's gotten better and better every week that he plays, and that will only continue. I think he'll be a key guy as we move forward because he can play elite defense. His offense is improving by the week. He's a great competitor, and he just loves to play. So he's going to be a key guy.
Mark, looking at your SEC record, 12-15, I'm sure you know the history. 15-15, real good. 14-16, that usually gets you in. Do you talk to the guys about that next week and say, got to get at least 2?
Well, yeah, I mean, at this point, we've talked about that throughout the course of the season about, at times when everybody wanted to give up and pack in the season. And, we explain to them how it's a long season, it's a marathon, and there are certain points that you can still hit that give you a chance at the end. And so those are still there. Today was a big one, obviously, for us in terms of would really give us a position to feel like we can go get something. But wasn't meant to be, and so now we've got to focus on the next one.
Will was only at 93 pitches when you pulled him. Was there any thought about bringing him out there for the 8th, or was he pretty much done after?
No, at that point, you're looking at he's going to throw 20 pitches to get through the next inning, and so you're talking about getting him up to 115, 120 range. We just weren't going to do that.
Any more questions from John?
This week there was a high-profile case, maybe, of a school canceling a midweek game for RPI purposes. I understand there's been some other schools that have done it kind of under the radar as well. What's your stance on that, and is that something that y'all would think about this week with not necessarily an RPI standpoint, but from a pitching standpoint?
I think every program and every coach needs to make decisions and what they think is in the best interest of their program. And I think everybody has the right to do that. I don't think we have any plans of doing that with our team or our program on Tuesday.
Speaking of pitching, Mark, do you look into next week and saying, like, might want to have my best guy ready for Tuesday in Hoover, or is it just all next weekend and do it?
Yeah, I mean, we've got to be very creative as we have the entire year. We're going to have to look at it. We're going to have to dig into it. We're going to have to look at what does Tuesday look like, what does Thursday, Friday, Saturday look like, and some of the decisions may not be made till you see the results of Friday and Saturday. So yeah, we'll consider all of the options and everything that we think is in the best interest of this club.
Anything else, Coach? All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.